JoJo's Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable keeps getting better. The first time I watched it, I didn't like it that much. I thought it was good, but definitely not great. And then the second time I watched it, I liked it a lot more, and I thought it was very good. But now, my third time rewatching it, I like it even more than the second time, and it feels like Diamond is Unbreakable is just getting better every time I rewatch it. Things I didn't like as much before, I'm starting to like. And I feel like I'm getting used to the part. So I'm being able to like things more, I guess. Like before, I thought Shigeki was just an annoying character. I didn't like him at all. But now, I like him more than I did before. I'm not saying he's one of my favorite characters now, but I definitely think he's a pretty good character. And every other character that I already like, it's great to see again. Also, Josuke and Okuyasu, I'm starting to like even more. When I first watched the part, I didn't like them much at all. Then last time I watched the part, I liked them a lot more than the first time, and now I am starting to think they are pretty solid main characters. I would say my opinion on Koichi hasn't really changed much. I still think he's pretty good, but I'm not really liking him anymore than I used to. I'm just starting to like more of the main characters a lot more, and more of the side villains more. And I feel like the fact that I was able to rewatch it 3 times and still enjoy it, for it not to feel boring after rewatching it again, and for me to actually like it even more, I've got to give Diamond is Unbreakable credit for that, because that definitely means that it is good. All the other JoJo's parts I liked just about the same the first time I rewatched it in comparison to when I rewatched it or after all the times I rewatched them. But it feels with Diamond is Unbreakable, it gets better every time I rewatch it. Maybe because it was such a unique part, and I'm just getting more used to it each time, it feels like. Josuke used to seem pretty generic to me and not very interesting or that great of a main character, but now he definitely seems like a solid character with a good personality and someone who's confident, egotistical, pretty intelligent, and a kind person. It just surprised me how much my opinion on the part has changed since the first time I watched it till now. And another thing about the part is Yoshikage Kira never gets boring, so I think he's definitely a big part of why it's so rewatchable. And then same with a few other characters for me, they never get boring. I've also liked rewatching the part with the chef, because the first time I watched it, I thought he was going to be evil, and then also the second time, I forgot what happened exactly the first time, so once again I thought he was going to be evil. But now the third time, me rewatching the episode with the chef, I knew ahead of time he was an innocent guy who was just being helpful. So it was fun to watch it back with that perspective now, since I like this episode so much and this character. And yet again, it was very entertaining and just a fun experience to rewatch it back now with a different perspective, knowing that the chef is not actually evil. So I guess I am starting to appreciate more things about the part, because one thing about this part is the perspective you have on it really influences the way you feel about it when you're watching it, I would say, more than any other part. This part is not really as direct as all the other parts, and it's so different from all the other parts, especially that we had seen up until this point, before part 4. I also start to like the art style more and more each time. The first time it was pretty bad to me. I didn't really like it. I thought it was weird looking. I thought Jotaro looked weird, and I don't know, I thought Josuke looked a little weird, and I don't know, the whole art style just was a little off to me. And by now, I like it a lot more. I'm used to it. I got over the fact that Jotaro looks different, even if I don't like the way he looks as much. But I'm really starting to appreciate the art style, and I see now why a lot of people like it. It's definitely a very unique one, and it's very creative how they use colors. But yeah, the most noticeable thing for me that has changed, in my opinion, after watching it for the third time is Josuke and Okuyasu. I just feel like I keep liking them even more and more, probably just because I'm getting used to them, probably because I'm understanding their characters better and getting more time seeing their characters. And I guess it's also because my expectations are a little bit different after rewatching it compared to watching it for the first time. My expectations the first time were for the main characters to be similar to all the other parts before, but this part, it feels like the main characters are different. They're students, they're a little bit more goofy, and I would say it's not as serious a lot of the time with the main characters. And especially Okuyasu is a lot different than all the other main characters we had seen before, and usually they seem very intelligent, and at first I thought that these main characters didn't seem that smart or impressive. It just seemed more cartoony to me. But now, with my expectations changed and knowing the way it is, I'm able to appreciate it for what it is and how the main characters are. I would say I actually like Josuke and Okuyasu even more than Koichi now. The first time I watched the part, I liked Koichi better than both of them. Then the second time, I actually started like Josuke and Okuyasu maybe slightly more than Koichi. And now, I like both of them, I would say, quite a bit more than Koichi. So it's just incredible how I went from liking Koichi definitely more than both of them, and now I like Josuke and Okuyasu more than Koichi. There's also a side villain that I like a lot more in this part than I did the first or second time, and that's Red Hot Chili Pepper. Before, I don't know, the part was just not that engaging for me with him in it. But after trying to focus more on it and becoming more used to this villain, I think he was definitely one of the best side villains of the part. I like his Stan's character design, and I also think the voice for the character is pretty good, and I'm talking about for the English dub, as well as the fact that the stand user is a rock star, and I think his character design looks pretty cool as well, and just that his ability made for an interesting fight with Josuke. The stand is gold and has the appearance of a bird with a snake-like tail, so the stand is definitely very unique, and it's definitely one of my favorite looking stands. Red Hot Chili Pepper also had a very strong personality, and overall is now just a very memorable villain of the part for me. Overall, I would say Diamond is Unbreakable is growing on me. I feel like I'm liking it more and more each time. I would say especially just the main characters are, and a lot of the side villains are, as well as the art style, because it's definitely in the same place of my rankings that I had it before, it being my least favorite, but the gap between it and the other parts are becoming even smaller and smaller. The first time I had it below every other part, and there was quite a big gap between it and my other second least favorite part, which is part 6. Then the second time I watched it, the gap was very slight, but now the gap between part 4 and 6 is very small for me. They're almost even, and I would say the part I like more than part 4 and 6 that's right over both of them is part 1, and I would say the gap between all 3 of them for me is even smaller now, and I would say it's close to both of those parts. So it's definitely improved for me. I just think it's a part that I have to get used to, since it feels so different than all the other JoJo's parts, and what I like about a lot of the other JoJo's parts doesn't really feel like JoJo's Part 4 has as much, but what is good about it is definitely still really good and definitely makes it a really good part. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is JoJo's Part 4 your favorite part? Do you like it even more every time you watch it? And has your experience been similar to mine? And I'll see you in the next video.